Today's episode of The Republic is brought to you by WildStar. To pick up WildStar at 20% off. Why would you possibly pay full price? We've got 20% off. Just go to GameBreaker.tv/deals.
GameBreaker TV.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Republic, episode 182 for May 17, 2013. Except my lower third says 14, which is right, not 13. Is it 2018 yet?
What year is this, Gary?
Is it 2022? What is it? I don't even know what day it is anymore, Mr. Everett. This is a Saturday. I don't know why we're doing this show. I don't know the day. I don't know the time. I don't know the year. We're all screwed up here. All right, we got some big news coming up.
Makes it all better? Margaritas.
What? Yes.
I said, you know what makes it all better? Margaritas.
I kind of agree with that. That sounds perfect. Yeah, let's make that work. All right, so we got some big news coming up for Update 2.8. Vegas is coming to Star Wars The Old Republic, and joining me as always, Mr. Larry Everett, wearing a smart shirt.
Yeah, I just came from a graduation. This is as dressed up as I get.
He's dressed up just for the show. He's here. He's ready to go. And joining us, as always, with new hair. Laura
Yes, I chopped it all off.
Big reveal.
And Lee's been crying tears for 4 days.
Oh, it looks cute. Why would he be crying?
Thanks. He doesn't like short hair.
Was that him freaking out in the background there? Was that Larry's
No, that's Larry's kid freaking out in the background there.
That was totally him. That was totally Lee.
That was Lee. He's like,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I did. I came home from work after getting a cut, and he didn't realize that I had gotten a cut because he was taking a nap. So I climbed in the bed, and I was like, honey, you need to wake up. You need to wake up. And he reached up to touch my hair, and he was like, no. 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 He was like, no, this is not what we talked about. And I'm like, this is exactly what we talked about. He was like, I'm so upset I can't even look at you right now.
Aww.
Sorry, though. I love it, and that's what
I'm sure he'll
matters.
start loving it. All right, let's talk about some Star Wars. I guess first up, if you guys are wondering why we're doing the show, dates, times, releases, all that stuff, we're smashing all the shows into the weekend for the next few weeks because of some other projects. So we're recording this live on Saturday. So next week, I think we're going to probably shoot for around the same day and time next week if we can. So keep an eye on social media. All right, but started off this week, Galactic Strongholds might be delayed until update 2.8. Still looking pretty good. Big unexpected exciting addition being that slot machines at a Nar Shaddaa casino. Who saw this coming? Who saw this coming? Gambling? Casinos? What?
I think the only person that saw this coming was SWTOR Minor. I mean, seriously, because nobody else had any clue. This was kind of out of the blue, really. When it comes down to it, it just really. I love it, mind you, but really not expecting it at all. It's awesome. It's great. I'm glad
they needed to fill something since they pulled Strongholds out of 2.8 and moved it back to 2.9.
This is true.
Well, it's true. But it's true, but they were always planning this all along. This was supposed to be like the biggest update there was, and then they moved Stronghold. So maybe it's not quite the biggest update there has ever been. But I'm excited about this. I think it's I think it's good. I mean, I've always been a fan of Nar Shaddaa, so I'm really glad to see us moving some stuff to Nar Shaddaa, and gambling is perfectly
making
appropriate.
It feel a little bit more crazy, like Nar Shaddaa should feel. Well, and there's not a whole lot of info on it, but could you see the possibility? Could you see them possibly making this some sort of cartel store credit purchases for real money?
No, they said it's going to be in-game credits that you'll be able to buy it. Yeah. Although, technically, I guess you could argue that they're going to do it through the cartel market because one of the tokens that you can use are the cartel market certificates that are random drops in the lottery packs that you can buy, like the hyper crates.
Yeah.
So I guess you could technically say that.
Technical loophole.
Well, the thing is that you get these things in every single cartel pack. These are like kind of a guaranteed drop from cartel packs, and
What? No, they're not.
They're random. No,
They
I thought
are
it was
random.
I thought it was just the kind because I've gotten one in every single cartel pack I've ever opened up. Maybe
I'm not talking about the rep
really...
items. I'm talking about the purple certificate that you can exchange with the vendors up on the fleet for like the Mira's top or some of the other armor sets that they've put up there that they don't carry anymore, or pieces that they put out if you wanted to be able to buy. Like those are not guaranteed. It's a random if you'll get them in there or not.
Sorry, I got them confused. Got the two things. They're both called certificates of some sort, and I got them confused. So I don't buy things from the cartel market anyway. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't imagine we're seeing this go to any sort of like real world money transaction because gambling laws are insanely tricky, like between state by state. So that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
but I gotta say this is cool. Definitely fits Narshada, and talk about a credit sync for the game. I mean,
you have no idea.
Yeah, they just revealed
they're gonna have two types of slot machines that you can participate in. One is the Smuggler's Luck slot machine. That's the cheap one to play. The expensive one. Dirty. The expensive one is the Kingpin's Bounty slot machine, and that's the one that gives you the Rancor amount. So everybody everybody is going to want to be playing that one.
Brilliant.
Everybody.
Brilliant.
And it's ridiculously low, and they said it's going to cost like 50,000 credits to get a chip for the for the Kingpin slot machine, or
a chip, mind you. This is
one of those cartel market certificates can be turned in for a Kingpin.
So 50. This is for a chip, and that's not. This is not just to give you perspective. 50,000 by itself. That's probably an armor repair bill if you've died a couple of times. So that's not a whole lot of money, but whenever you consider the amount of money that you'll have to spend in order to get a Rancor, because it is 0.7% drop, is that
0.07%?
0.07%.
If you played the Smuggler's Luck slot machine and you happen to get the Feeling Lucky buff, and you go and turn around and play the Kingpin slot machine, then it bumps your chance to get the Rancor to 0.09%.
Oh, increase those odds.
Ooh, 0.09.
Wow, that's brilliant though. The carrot is amazing. The carrot is going to just be like sinking credits into these machines.
Well, they're offering not just the Rancor, but you also get they have another brand new mount that's coming to the game. It's a speeder. It's called I wrote it down somewhere. The Vectron Magnus, I think, is the one that's coming in the slot machine. Yeah, and it looks really, really sweet. Oh, sorry, I lied. It's the Vectron Opus. And it looks really sweet. It's very kind of retro 1950s, the diner, chrome, real wood on your car, that sort of rounded Buick look.
Is it the blue one or the black one?
It's the it is.
It's going to give a link.
I don't remember. I closed the link out.
Well, you guys,
I think it's the darker one.
I think this is really cool. I'm always like, I love doing like pseudo gambling in MMOs, even like people used to use /roll and things like that. A lot of MMOs kind of shy away from this stuff and they don't really give you this. So I think this is cool. Slot machines, a lot of fun, like mini games, like little stuff to kind of do on the side. Sounds like the prizes are good. That Rancor mount sounds ridiculously cool.
Yeah.
But I gotta wonder that being an MMO, being a game you play with people and friends, do you guys think that this could be like the start of something that, like, for something more, like maybe some more social games that you can, like, we always talked about Pazak, pod racing.
I really hope it is. I mean, the games by themselves, as they stand right now, are not social interactive games. But if this thing takes off, I could definitely foresee them doing something like that. And I really hope that they realize that because I know it's going to take. this is going to take off. This is going to be a huge thing. People love this kind of stuff, and I hope that they realize that and then bring us things like Pazak or Savak.
Oh, wait, how about this? I don't know if this is even possible, but what if you could bet on Hutball matches?
Oh, aren't they putting that in WoW? Yeah, they should totally put that in Star Wars too.
That's right. I think we have to be able to watch Hutball matches first, or arenas.
Well, yeah, that kind of goes along with it. If they give a spectator mode for the matches, but if you could bet on them and watch them,
yeah, I'd be all over it. I love them. I would love to do that. That would be sweet.
Like think about really, your downtime of just like, oh, I don't really have time to play. I maybe have to go do this, but I got a second monitor. And I just bring up Tor and just kind of sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to bet on this match. Just bet on it and like almost like watching like a football game.
That'd be sweet.
Know, be pretty cool.
Game fixing. That's right, Rakish.
Oh, yes. Always comes into that. I guess the slot machines might work a little bit better because you can't really fix them. So, all right, going back to slot machines. The wording about this was a little bit unclear. So do we have any confirmation? Are these only in game for a limited time? Or just the unique prize, or is it going to change? Because it's a little funky.
They said the event is going to run from June 10th through August 19th. And August 19th is when 2.9 is going to hit, which is early access for subscribers for Galactic Strongholds. So, yes, it is a limited time as long as the event is running through that time period. But that's what, like a month and a half?
Yeah.
So, or a little bit over a month and a half.
So what happens on that date? Besides Galactic Strongholds?
It ends on the 19th in Strongholds. It's gone.
Well,
the slot machines are gone?
Gone. They
the
come
huts
in and suck them all out.
So this is
there's a big vacuum that comes along. No, I'm just kidding.
Why would they be taking this out? Is it just a test? What are they doing? Like, this seems really odd that they're like not gonna keep this in game. Change the prizes out.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I agree. I think that it should be a consistent thing. But the thing, one of the things about events, like the Gree event and the Bounty Week and those kinds of things, that it gets. Well, what it does is it creates this level of expectation, and people, you take something away from people for a while, something that they really liked. When it comes back, they like it even more. It's like that. They're
all excited to get back in there.
It's the carrot. The same thing with this, though. I mean, those are like events that have like stories and stuff to them and scenarios. This is a slot machine. It's like a mini game feature. I don't know. This just seems like something that should just stay in game. It seems really weird.
The thing is, and I think Laura mentioned on the show
we did the other day, removing the slot machines. They forgot to pay their gambling taxes.
I don't think there's any lore in that. It feels to me like it was just kind of thrown together because they were like, all right, so we're going to remove Strongholds from 2.8, so now we're left with kind of a big hole. We're not getting, really the only other content that you're getting in 2.8 besides this festival that they've created is Nightmare and Dread Palace. So in order to kind of fill it and put something else in there, I think that they created this and said, hey, let's give this a try.
Yeah.
I mean,
and again, they don't celebrate holidays. There's no, except for Life Day is the only one that kind of coincides with a real life holiday. So everything else, there's no holidays involved. And so this is, I think, like their summer holiday event. I think what we'll do is like next year.
Last year we had the Chevin event about this time.
It was
or
a couple
the
years
year
ago.
Before.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
Couldn't this turn into like though? Because I mean, the fleet seems kind of dull at this point. So, I mean, couldn't they potentially turn like Nar Shaddaa into like a major like cross faction hub area of social activity that would become like hopping with stuff like this? I mean that would be really cool. I think initially they intended Nar Shaddaa, the promenade on Nar Shaddaa, to be that way. Unfortunately, it just never did. It never took off as being a major hub. Part of that had to do with the way the GTN was handled. But I would like to see it turn. I love Nar Shaddaa. Nar Shaddaa is just one of my favorite places to hang out. I like doing role play there. I just like the atmosphere that it's supposed to be, this bustling city planet kind of thing.
and
we're all getting houses there.
Yeah, and we're all getting houses there. Yes, our strongholds are going to be on Nar Shaddaa. Everybody that's subscribed now is getting one. So, yeah, I would like to see that. I would absolutely like to see that, and I think this will kind of help with that. But then it's going to ebb and flow as this event comes and goes. So we'll see.
I wonder if this is a test. I'm sensing a test. They're going to see how this goes.
Yeah.
My prediction is that if the test goes well and you guys actually like it and they dump a lot into it, I think you'll see the slot machine stay and then add more stuff to it, make it sort of the social hub of the game, which I think it's needed.
That would be really sweet.
Another big change coming in 2.8 is the overhaul to the operations group finder. well figure. How is how is it going to work? What's going to be changing? What's the lowdown?
Oh gosh, a lot of things are going to be changing.
Yeah.
Well, first off, it's moving from a choice of multiple. Like right now, if you're level 50, you get the choice of going into Eternity Vault or Karaga's Palace or Explosive Content. And once you hit 55, you get the choice to go into Terror from Beyond, Scum and Villainy. Are Dread Fortress and Palace up on there? I haven't looked in a while.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
they're not. So Terror from Beyond and Scum and Villainy, and you get the option to do those as an 8-man story mode. So that's all going to go away. They are moving it up to a 16-man group. It's going to be a random operation each week. So you could get Eternity Vault one day, you could get Karaga's Palace the next day, you could get Dread Fortress the day after that. You don't know. There's going to be a timer that tells you how long you have.
Right. It's not exactly random. It's more scheduled, if you will, but not scheduled.
Scheduled,
yeah.
Whatever.
It's not that it's not random in the sense that when you log in, you might get a completely different one the next time you log in. It's on a scheduled timer. So, who knows what that timer is? Only BioWare.
So in theory, players are going to be able to hit 50. Not even 55, and jump right in wearing quest gear?
Because Bolster worked so awesome in PvP, and there was never any issue with how that worked, they've decided that it would be a fantastic idea to apply this to raids.
Yeah.
So
how's the community
hit
taking
level
this?
50, queue up in the raid finder, and get bolstered up to 55. And the appropriate stats that you should have to be able to run the raid.
Wow, this doesn't sound controversial at all.
Yeah, this can't go wrong. No, I don't see how this could go wrong at all. This sounds perfect. It was really funny as I was looking through the thread where they announced this thing, and I don't see very many people complaining about the bolster system. They're mostly complaining about other silly things like, oh, we haven't had a raid in almost a year, or those kinds of things. But I haven't seen too many complaints about the bolstering system, but that would be like the thing that I would be most concerned about is this bolstering system going to work out? Because, like we've mentioned, it doesn't work so well in PvP. Why in the world would you want to transfer it over?
The other reason is that's partially why they changed it from 8-man to 16, is that, simply put, story modes on 16-man are much more forgiving of groups that maybe have slightly lackluster players jumping in there. It's more forgiving for mistakes. It's more forgiving for, people not being able to hit enrage timers.
I don't know. I really hope. Now, granted, they are all story mode, and so I just hope that within the random 16 people that we get, that you at least get 4 that know what they're doing.
Yeah, you should be able to get a few people that can carry everyone else through, and you're probably going to see a lot more people doing it because they really increased the amount of rewards that you're going to get.
Yeah,
like it's a pretty significant selection of ultimate comms. Like I think it's going to be 30 for doing the random hard mode or the random operation.
Yep, and that's the only thing. That's the only thing is that okay, all right. If they're doing this, they're going to get gear pretty quickly. So. Yeah. That's the only saving grace for this kind of thing. I'm really concerned because I know I've been in some raids that were, pug raids. Which, by the way, Evan Hawk has really great pug groups. Honestly, people that organize this kind of thing. that being said, though, not everybody that's in those pug groups are quality raiders, and some of them don't even have the gear that they're supposed to, and hopefully this bolster system actually works. So this is a lot of faith we're putting into BioWare right now.
It also
We'll see.
It also specifically says that rewards have been improved. So what is it? Does this mean that guilds doing story mode outside of the group finder are putting in actually more work and receiving less reward?
No, it means they're boosting the reward that you get for completing the operation by going through the group finder. So as opposed to getting what is it like right now, like 15,
well,
12, something like that, you're going to get 30 ultimate comms for completing the instance.
Technically, yes, but in actuality, no. I mean, because you can always queue up for group finder as a group, so it's not, you're not really going to lose anything. Especially, I don't think it's really that big a deal. And on top of that, you can make up, like I said, you can queue as a whole group. It's not you don't have to queue up as a pug every time. So this is another way to just fill. Maybe you have
help alts get gear.
Yeah, if you have like if you have 11 people or whatever, and you want to fill out the raid finder with pugs, there you go. That's really kind of what it is.
All right, I want to move on and talk about these new Starfighter variants, but first I want to stop and tell you guys about our sponsor on today's show, and that is Audible. Love having Audible on. I want to hook you guys up with a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook just by using the URL audible.com/gamebreaker. Just go to that URL, sign up, download the app, put it on your iOS, your iPhone, your Android device, your iPad, whatever you want. They've got a Kindle. They've got an app for it. You're going to get to choose one free audiobook. I got a cool one today. This is a cool one. How about Return of the Jedi dramatized? Let's take a listen.
Focal lens must rest within a 2-degree arc of... What am I doing? I've read the instructions a dozen times. And a dozen times I've failed. Always with you it cannot be done. Master Yoda, can I forget so soon? I don't need this. R2, hand me the superconductor. And now the power cell. And the crystals.
Pretty cool new way to experience Return of the Jedi that I don't think many people have done besides outside of watching the film. Listening to it dramatized as a radio broadcast. Pretty damn cool. You can choose this as one of your free audiobooks, or there's a ton of other Star Wars stuff on here as well. Just give a little search, and you'll find tons of Star Wars books, Heir to the Empire 20th. There's a bunch of Star Wars The Old Republic books as well. You can choose one of them absolutely free just by going to audible.com/gamebreaker. Sign up today, choose a free audiobook, and get to listen. And so check it out. And by supporting Audible, you're directly supporting Gamebreaker as well. So thank you very much. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about there's 2 new Starfighter variants coming. You got the Skirmisher gunship. It's both sniper and dogfighter. Now I'm no balance designer, but shouldn't it be one of the other? What about, I don't know, sniper and dogfighter? Seems interesting.
I'm scared.
Haven't you seen those commercials where they're like, nobody wants or? Always got to be and.
It's kind of true. Does it scare anybody? Is anybody worried about this?
I'm worried. I'm worried. Thankfully, I don't play Starfighter that much, but I am kind of worried about as far as balance is concerned. Now, to be fair though, I'm one of those people that complained about the Sting Scout that is mostly a dogfighter, and that I'm one of those people. So this scares me quite a bit. Whenever you got it just for me, hybrids, because this is kind of a hybrid. It's kind of what it is, right? It just seems to be that it's going to there's going to be some way to exploit it in some way that, oh, the devs didn't see that coming. Oops, and now it is the best fighter there is, and everybody flies it. I'm kind of afraid of that.
What's this? What do you guys? What's your overall? I know you know it's hard to tell just your guild, but what's your overall feeling about Starfighter right now? Is there a lot of the community like really in there? Is it pretty bustling or?
From what
I hate it. So
from what I can
you've
tell,
disliked it from the beginning. You really thought it wasn't your thing.
I don't
right?
like getting nauseous and being
right.
sick.
So you had your own reasons, right? So you had your own reasons, but those are kind of like uncontrollable reasons. But
it's just like any other PvP thing as far as I'm concerned right now. It's just if I feel like doing it, then I do it. It's really what it boils down to. And I know there's some people that are super into it, and some people that are just because it is really robust. I think it is an amazing thing that they did. It's not just the original thing that they had at launch just in free flight form. It's really robust. There's a lot of different builds, and it's fairly balanced from what I've been able to see, and what other more expert PvPers are saying. It's fairly balanced, and I think throwing something. I think something like this is going to throw it for a little bit of a curveball, but maybe not. Maybe this is something that it needed to just revive it a little bit and get people interested or continue to be interested in Galactic Starfighter.
Update 2.8 is expected next month on coming up on June 10th, so not too far away.
Yep.
And 2.9 Galactic Strongholds, subscriber early access. That's expected August 19th. 2.9 is going to continue the Forged Alliance's story arc. And BioWare have actually hinted at something very big for later this year. Any idea what this is? Chat bubbles? Chat bubbles? Is that what it's going to be? No?
I don't know that would be considered very big. It'd be huge for me.
I was going to be huge. It'd be really big for you.
It'd be huge for me. I don't know that it would be really big for everybody else, or that BioWare would consider it to be very big. I'm leaning toward, honestly, I'm leaning towards some sort of consistent galactic war thing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly how.
Is that like an open world PvP?
Well, I think it's going to involve.
I think it's going to.
I think it's going to involve PvP. I think it's going to involve PvE, and I think it's going to involve a
new planet,
planetary control. Well, we know a new planet's coming out. By the way, we know this. I don't. That's probably it. It looks like it's going to be Manon, which is the water planet that Kolto is made on.
Sigh.
Yeah. Sorry.
Holding out for Dathomir.
For real. Any idea, Laura, what you think this big thing could be? What would you think?
I think it's going to be the next expansion. They said that we're going to get a second one this year. So, yeah, I'm going full on. Even if it is Larry's lame Manon and Kolto.
Larry, what's
I think that's what we're getting at the end of the year. And they didn't talk about it at all in their producer's update, which they said that they would. So I can only assume that that's what that means.
Larry, why do you think it's going to be that? What's pointing you towards that planet?
Well, there's a couple of reasons, and one of it has to do with I'm trying to remember the name of the. I'm looking it up here real quick because I'm cheating. The creatures that live on Manon, the Selkath. That's it. There was is it the last Cantina tour? Anyway, I think it was the last Cantina tour. There was a concept art for new Selkath, which, and there were, it's one of those things where it was the whole bunch of faces that had different variances and those kinds of things, kind of like what we saw at the beginning for character customization. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to be able to play Selkath. I don't want to give that impression, but I think the variants of the Selkath were for NPCs, and where would we find a whole bunch of Selkath NPCs
on their home planet? On
their home planet, and I think that's why they did that. And on top of that, there's been some data miners and whatnot, including SWTOR miner, that have suggested that Manon is kind of already in some of the data, the client files. So Yeah.
Sounds likely. It sounds
very likely.
Larry Everett, follow him on Twitter at Shadow, SHADDOE, and of course go over to hyperspacebeacon.com and check out his Star Wars coverage right there at www.hyperspacebeacon.com, and of course right here on the Republic each and every week. Laura Williams, follow her on Twitter at VoidMinx, VOIDMYNX, right here on the Republic with her cute little haircut. And you can follow me, Gary, again, and follow Gameburger TV, Gameburger TV. Go to our Facebook page. And, check out our deals page, gameburger.tv/deals. We've got a great deal on WildStar right now, 20% off. Do not pay full price. Deluxe or standard, either or. That's like $15 off. Don't pay full price. Check our deals page before you purchase a game. WildStar is just one of many on there, so check it out today. And for the next few weeks, we'll be doing shows on the weekend, so pay attention to our social on Facebook and Twitter. Today's Saturday when we're recording this. I think next week will probably be about the same on Saturday if you want to come and hang out for the live show. And then in a few weeks, we'll be back to our normal day and time on Thursday. So have a great week. We'll see you next week for some more Republic.